The most horrifying noise.
Somebody give me a yes, I. DJ Cooper, can you hear me speak? Can you hear me speak, bro? Can you hear me speak? Yeah. We've changed all the settings on this. I've not used this StreamYard in a while. This shite. Full send? What do you mean? Full send? What do you mean? Aye, man. Cool, bro. Right, hang on. Can you hear it when I do this? Right, I'm going to do something, right? So I want to see if it's going through my aggregate on my control. But there, I might need to use a mic, but check mic 1, 2. Check mic 3, 4. Can you hear me, mate? See when I speak through the mic, can you hear me? Is it working? Hello there. Is it sounding echoey or let me know, Cooper? But you can hear me, is it good sound or bad? Oh, it's bad sound, I think. But I can't do it that way. Anyway, you can hear me. You must be able to hear me through this, you know? Tell speakers. Right, anyway, you can hear me through that, can't you? It was sound. It's sound, is it? Right, wait, I'll do it again. Right, I'm going to test it. Now let me know quick style when I do it. Right, I'm going to do it now. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 6. 6. Check, right, 1, 2. Can you hear me, brother? Is it an echo? Is it better sound, wrong sound, fucked up sound? You tell me. First one, right, brother. No worries. See that. That's they want you to pay 45 quid a month for this shit. Fuck knows why I paid it, man. Fuck me. Anyway. Can't even fucking let me have an external sound fucking system in here. Doesn't make sense. So I need to use that. Right, that's better than that. Right, anyway, you hear me right? Right there. No, can you see me? Right there. I'll take this down. It'll play this in here, right?
You fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you.
They see it me, all comes the bastards. 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 You wanna wait till the game, or do you wanna make one with me now? I see it me. All comes the bastards. They see it me. All comes the bastards. They see it me. All comes the bastards. They see it me. All comes the bastards.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck a fuck a fuck you. Let's go, let's go.
That's the problem.
I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die.
It's a Mark II, brother. I've got two of them. There's one in the room. The two of them need refurbished, but it's a Mark II, my man. Old school business, that is.
Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. I'm hardcore till I die. Hardcore till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm hardcore till I die. You're a hooligan.
On the thumbnail.
Hardcore hooligan.
What was
You're a
it? I
hooligan.
remember what I know what.
Hardcore hooligan.
Right. All cops are bastards. Anyway, people, right, so they're talking about the thumbnail. I think it's a Mark 5, mate. Can't see it through the thing, mate. It's just it's because of the actual industrial strength slip mat on it. It looks like a Mark 5 to me, but what do you think? Looks like a Mark 5. It's got the pitch button, which I don't agree with, right? But and it looks a bit plasticky around about there. So you got the Mark 5s. Mark 3D. I'm not sure, mate. See, to be honest, see for me, the only Technics decks, man, that are worth their penny, right? And the gold ones, obviously, right? Because of the limited and Mark 1s and Mark 2s, mate. See these Mark 3s, Mark 4s, Mark 5s, Mark 7, plasticky. It's obsolescence, mate. You know what I mean? They build it obsolescence now. It's not like back in the day. But see the Mark 2 and the Mark 1. You know what I mean? You always will find parts for them. It'll be hard, but might not be the proper. It'll be third party parts, but you'll find them. You've got to look for them, 100%. Right, so let's put the link out, right, for the fucking Bampot earlier on, who was fucking. What the fuck? See the night, honestly. They want me mentioning their names. They're that fucking sad. They're that sad, right? They want me talking about them. Seriously, people. I'm not lying. They're that sad. So I shouldn't really be talking about them. I don't know why I'm going to lie, but I'm going to put the link out and I want to see who jumps on. So, Bumbo, jump on. You threaten me with somebody, but you can't help me. As if I'd need your fucking help. Daft arse. Fucking silly fucking backward adult grown fucking baby man. Fuck shit. Honestly, man. Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 5 are all good. Saw the Mark 5, but Mark G in digital pitch, but Mark 7 are plastic. Aye, true, mate. But I still stand by the Mark 1s and Mark 2s, bro. Don't know, mate. I've never experienced, I'll be truthful, I've never experienced the Mark 3. I used a Mark 5 once. I don't like the button in it, mate. I really don't. Amanda's ruined me. Right, is she past catches up with you every day? Does it, Chemical? Guess what? You're barred, right? For mentioning my ex-wife, my ex-fucking fiancée, mate. So you're barred. Fuck off. Right? There you go. How about that? Just like that, mate. So let's put an invite out. Let's see who comes on here. Fucking absolute fools, man. A lot of these. Look, this is me giving you a wee chance tonight, eh? Might get away with saying something rotten to ruin my channel. Massive report me, eh? Doubt it, but it won't work. No get away with it tonight, man. I'm right on it. So there you go. Link on both channels under my real name, Chris Masters, and my DJ name, DJ Chris Cyrus, under the Mr. Dark Raver 79. So you know who I am, obviously. So the link's out if anybody wants to come on and discuss this with me. I don't see it, but so we'll play some music at the moment, right? Fucking absolute jealous. But yous make yourselves look absolute ridiculous. Yous are adults. These only wee boys and wee lassies, yous are adults. Yous kick about YouTube all day. No, yous all say, I'm here not to build a channel, but you're on YouTube 24/7. It'd be different if you're building a channel. Then I can understand why you're on it, right? But if you're on it just to cause trouble and spread rumours, then that's wrong. Take a look at yourselves. If you're on this to sit there, go on one channel, get a spanner, because you know you're saying things out of order, so you need a spanner to protect yourselves. Yous make me sick. Yous are the individuals I stay away from in new life. Yous are like, no. Troublemakers, arseholes, bunnets, just bams. Bams. That's it. Nothing more we can say about it. If you're on YouTube just to sit and noise people up, right? You're a fucking rocket. You're a fucking rocket. I'm on here because I'm a comedian, DJ, fucking part actor, bullshit, having a laugh, right? And regardless of what you might laugh, this and that, I was at school, I'd done history, drama, geography. That was my forte at school. Because I went to school, unlike some of yous. Yous might think because I don't, it's called shorthand. See, when you're writing on YouTube, it's called shorthand. You don't need to spell it out It's not about that shorthand. It's so then somebody knows what you're saying because it's social media. So see when you get somebody coming in correcting you like a fucking teacher with your P's and Q's, fuck off and jog on. Boring bullshit. No charisma. Fuck off. Who gives a shit? You can fuck off, you and all. You were wrong in earlier. You're banned. There you go. That's how you deal with them. Fuck me, man, honestly. What the fuck? Right, so what is it, Hector? What is it you're saying? You know where I live. You know where I go every day. You know me. My friends. You know everything about me. So what the fuck is it you're saying that you absolute fucking ginger wreck? What is it you're saying? It's about time you start fucking apologising to people, mate. Winding your wee neck in because you're getting on TikTok. You mad gaylord. What you doing on TikTok? A monkey could go on TikTok and get followers. A monkey. Fucking that plastic toy could go on fucking TikTok and get followers, mate. That toy. That's how pathetic TikTok is. So Rita, Bob, and Sue too, you can bolt and all because we know who that is. You're just a fucking gammon, you are. You're a wronging. You're a wronging. You use Bassie's kids as your picture. And someone else's. But I'm not going to say. We'll not bring that up. It's a bit of a sensitive situation. But Bob, you're a fucking wronging, just like the rest of them. That's it. Plain and simple. There's nothing. What is it you can do to me anyway? People don't want to see me doing this. People want to see me DJ, have a laugh, and joke. They don't want to see me on here serious arguing with fucking absolute ball sacks. Grown ass men that call themselves family men, right? Who cannot even hold up a conversation for 5 minutes with an adult. Yous are ridiculous. Yous look a state. Yous have made a complete clown of yourselves, regardless of what you think. I came on here joking, laughing, all the rest of it, right? But I've built something for it. I turned a negative into a positive, as someone would say. So, what's happening, High Rider? Good evening, I hope you're well. So, I've turned a negative into a positive. So, what's wrong with that? But does that annoy you? Does that hurt you? Does that make you cry at night? Does that keep you up at night? Huh? Jealous bastards. I'm not allowed my opinion, even though we live in a democracy. I'm not allowed my opinion, but as soon as I say my opinion, right, there we go again. There you go. You're getting blocked. You're mentioning for my family members. You're blocked. Banned. Fuck Roscoe as well. Get him to fuck. Roscoe, chemical glasses, 2 years, fuck off. I don't want to know yous. These are deadbeats. I don't like yous. I don't like yous. What is it you want? Fuck off. You can't handle getting told to fuck off on social media. Take a look at yourself, mate. It's social media. I don't like yous. I don't want nothing to do with yous. Do your own thing, stay in your own lane, and fuck off. How about that? Who's this Roscoe? I know, who is he? High Rider, he's a fucking muppet. That's who he is. And who are you anyway, bro? You're a newbie, aren't you? Hey, Lube, what? That's strange to me. You're getting banned and all. You're banned, there you go. Fuck off. You know what I mean? They're all coming in trying to get. You all think I'm fucking buttoned up the back, didn't you? Absolute fucking fools, man. You couldn't run a fucking Minaj. And that runs itself, by the way. A Minaj. That runs itself. You don't need to do it. But you cunts couldn't even do that. You're boring. Boring. People want to see excitement. Something different. This is a creative platform. Aldi, there's Aldi, supports my channel. Comments all the time, but never hits the like button. Thanks, Aldi. Who's this? Woody? Which with the eyes, mate? Here, man, the link, mate. Come on, tell me all about it, mate. Come on, tell me about your eyeballs. Come on. Can you not see or something? Do you need a fucking eye test? What is it? Jump on, man. Come on, jump on, Woody. Come on, jump on. Come on. What is it with you freaks that can't differentiate real life from social media? Using absolute fucking melts. Turn down the stereo. It's time to let it go. I need ice cream. Bard. Bard. You need a boot in the boys. That's what you need. You're bad and all. I don't like you. You're bad. There you go. That's home with the little ones. On you go, Aldi. Start hitting that like button, mate. You want to fuck? Might be a raver, brother. North Radical Technology and all that shit. Anyway, we'll get fucking tunes blaring, right? So, see yous deadbeats that'll try to get me involved in talking about yous. Me actually mentioning yous tonight actually gives yous that much a wee bit of hard on. That's all you're getting. Nothing more. I'm not even going to mention yous again. Any yous come in my chat and chat shit, you're getting blocked. How about that? Right? I'm a grass, I'm a nonce, I'm an extremist, I'm this, I'm that. So believe that. Believe that and stay away. Fuck off. How about that? There we go, look. The same people, look. Look, the same Bob again. You're barred. You're never getting on my channel ever. 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 Already hit the like, mate. Thank you, my bro. Aldi, I'm not putting up any other shit anymore, mate. The only reason I can make my channel go any further is getting rid of all the crud. And see my gran, right? My gran was Italian, right? And she used to grow a tomato plant. Used to get weeds and that at the bottom, right? That would pull down the plant. It would make the plant grow and, let's say, excel. So you break the weeds out. See the shitty tomatoes at the bottom? You break them away. And that's what I'm doing. I'm dismantling the bullshit for my channel. It's gone in a positive direction. It's gone in a positive direction, and I'm going to put my political voice and my opinion and a democracy out there. And if you don't agree with that, and you want to come in and call me, you've got a spot in your nose, you've got ginger hair, you're baldy, all this, you can say that to fuck it, shit. It's not going to work. It's just going to get you barred. That's it. DSL, Milsey. Banned DSL. Don't like DSL. He's a troublemaker. Milsey. Aye. Where's the sorry, Milsey? Speaking about my ma. Where's the sorry, Milsey? Still no said sorry, Millsy. Spoke about my mother. And you fucking know you were wrong, because I seen it in your face, Millsy. You forget I've met you. I seen it in your face, you knew you were wrong, mate. Anyway, we'll overlook that at the moment. Sorry, bro. No worries. Thank you, Millsy. That goes a long way, brother. Thank you. The rest of them? Nah. It's not happening anymore. I'm not putting up with fucking abuse of fucking idiots that just want to come on and band cunts up. I'm not here for the wind up anymore. I came on at the beginning for a wind up. That only goes so far. Then you stop. You don't keep doing it and doing it and doing it. It gets boring. That gets boring. The way if I keep on DJing and keep on putting it out there, that gets boring at the exact same time. What's happening, Justin, my brother? Justin, my boy in the house. There's my boy right there. Keep an eye out, bro. There's stragglers hanging around, bro. Big up the boy. Justin's had my back. He's a good man. Carty, you can fuck off. You're a weirdo. You're an absolute fucking weirdo. I've seen you being busy. I know, mate, already. Justin, look at this. They want me to mention their names, right, and speak about them. Because they're boring fucking bastards with no content. All they can do is insulting. It's who? These are family men, right? Their children will see this, and all they can do is sit and not even like a jokingly, like half-heartedly fucking bit of banter with each other. These people are actually saying, you're a speedophile, you're this, a rapist, you're that, and that. And then they're all talking to each other the next day as if it's alright. I'm not wanting involved in that. You can all do that. I'm taking a step back. I'm not interested in your shit. You talk absolute shit. Child abuse is not to be joked about. How about that? How about being fucking men and grown-ass women and stop fucking making child abuse a joke? It's not a joke. Fucking hell, do you know what I mean? Justin, brother. Let it go. I know, mate. And he said sometimes, but these people, man, where do you find them? Like, you're all hiding under rocks. You've all got smartphones maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe, if that. And now you all think these are tech wizards. These are absolute fucking wankers. The lot of yous. These are all as smart as your phone. None of yous have read a fucking book in your life. Fuck me a bit. Do you know what I mean? There's one book. Do you know what I mean? I bet none of yous have even read a fucking book. These are not well. None of yous are well read. You can't even take me in a conversation, in a debate without insulting me. Fuck me, man. Masters, have you ran out of weed? Aye, I have. How you want to send me some? No, mate. I'm telling the truth, T1. T1, they chat some shit, bro. It's no funny anymore. It is interesting. All the players who were funny and good at roasting people have left. They cunts interested. No, it's just a pile of fannies. After the fall of, let's say, video fucking gay boy gig, right? After the fall of him, all these wankers came out of nowhere. A big influx of them. Know what I mean? And we're meant to put up with them. Get the fuck. Fucking jog on. Let's just get the tunes on. Fuck's sake, dafties. Masters, have you ran out of weed and tea? Nah, mate. I'm sound, Justin, mate. I'm brand new. I'm just telling people straight. It's no happening. Expo was on today. Was he? Aye. Was he really? Aye. What do you want me to do? A backflip? The king of roasts. They couldn't handle it when it fucking landed in his lap. Then he started greeting like a mouse. Fuck off. He's another one. He's another one.
This is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
have a dream.
I have a dream. I have a dream.
Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., when the purge concludes. Blessed be guns for hire, our new founding fathers, and our country, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
May God be with you all. No comprende, eh? Puta, puta, puta madre. Ah, fuck your mama, eh?
Well, gentlemen, when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay. I've been around, you know. There was a time I could see, and I have seen, but there is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit.
You know something? And do you know I pray for these people every day and every night, because there's nothing worse than seeing an amputated spirit. And I have seen an amputated spirit. They thought the Cyrus was a flash in the pan.
Just getting warmed up.
Boom! Just like that. Here, I want you to see this, right? This guy speaks sense. Right, so Elon Musk, right? Hang on, right there. I'll show this. Elon Musk posts, right? He puts a post out, right? It's illegal. It's illegal what he said, right? There's no two ways about it. Then he retracts it and he tries to remove it. Now, this is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my puff. Here we go. Hang on.
Even the smallest print in a book is crystal clear.
So do y'all remember back on the campaign trail when Donald Trump said,
Hang on. I'd like you to go and subscribe, please, to this man's channel. Hang on. Till I get this sorted. 2 seconds, people. Right, I take this down. I want you to go and subscribe to this guy's channel. He keeps me informed on what's happening in the American politics and things that are going on in America. So big up this man who worked in the armed forces himself, who fought for America and understands that America needs allies in the world, right? So hang on, fix this. America needs allies, but for some reason, for some mad fucked up reason, right? No, I don't want that. These guys are just ripping up the maps, consolidating power for themselves. It's an authoritarian government that's coming out of Washington, 100%. I mean, that's a given now. Under a fascist regime, not even a government, a regime. It's we can safely say that now. It's not hidden. We all fucking know it. Everybody, the cats, the dogs in the street fucking know this. Get to the programme, start listening, man. Start listening to the American people. They've had enough of it. They can't be fucked with it. Now that explains everything to me.
said, just vote for me this time and you'll never have to vote again. We'll fix it to where.
Hang on, right. So we'll start again.
So do y'all remember back on the campaign trail when Donald Trump said, just vote for me this time and you'll never have to vote again? We'll fix it to where you will never have to vote again. And that didn't raise a red flag to MAGA. They just cheered it on. I guess you won't have to vote again if you've got the richest dude in the world going around and paying voters. They're just being more and more bold and brazen about it, and their crowd is loving it because the crowd thinks, wow, we're owning the libs. But folks, there is absolutely no world in which this is normal. And this tweet that Elon put out, there's no way you could spin this to say that he wasn't trying to buy the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. I'm going to pull up this tweet here that he left. Now, he's deleted it since he put this up because he definitely stepped in it when he put this up. But look right here, folks, how bold and brazen he is with this. He says, on Sunday night, I will give a talk in Wisconsin. Entrance is limited to those who have voted in the Supreme Court election. I will also personally hand over 2 checks for $1 million each in appreciation for you taking the time to vote. This is super important. Now, the most disturbing part about this is watching people sit back and try to split hairs and try to break down what he said and say, well, now he really didn't say he was going to buy votes. He just said he was going to give away $2 million to show his appreciation. What the hell else could it mean? This is something that I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. This is not something that anyone should be for. The Wisconsin Attorney General decided to sue, but now a court is saying that they're not going to let that happen. Take a look at this. And yes, this is a real headline in 2025. I'm going to read here from the Associated Press. Wisconsin appeals court won't stop Musk's $1 million.
Now look at this. Wisconsin's appeals court won't stop Musk £1 million payments to voters after Attorney General sues, right? So, I mean, where did these guys get off? They need checks and balances. It's fucked up.
Dollar payments to voters after Attorney General sues. So getting into the story here, a Wisconsin appellate court has denied the state Democratic Attorney General's request to stop billionaire Elon Musk from handing over 1 million checks to 2 voters at a rally planned for Sunday, just 2 days before a closely contested Supreme Court election. The denial Saturday by the Wisconsin Court of Appeals is the latest twist in Musk's involvement in the race, which has set a record for spending in a judicial election and has become a litmus test for the opening months of Donald Trump's presidency. Trump and Musk are backing Judge Brad.
Please go and subscribe to Tennessee Brando. I'll put the link in later on after this, but please go and subscribe.
Schimmel, I hope I'm saying that right, in the race, while Democrats are behind Dane County Judge Susan Crawford. Attorney General Josh Call filed the lawsuit Friday, arguing that Musk's offer violates the law. Said later on Saturday, appealed to the state Court of Appeals after a county court judge refused earlier in the day to hear the request for an emergency injunction to block the payments. Musk plans a rally where he intends to give a pair of Wisconsin voters $1 million each for signing an online petition against activist judges, he says. He is also offering $100 to anyone who signs it. He's previously gave $1 million to a Green Bay man who signed. Musk and the groups he funds have poured more than $20 million into the race, while Democrats, including George Soros, back Crawford. The race will determine ideological control of the court. Liberals currently hold a 4-3 majority, but a retirement this year puts the majority in play. The election concludes on Tuesday. Wisconsin's Attorney General argued that Musk's promised payments violates state law, making it a felony to give voters.
That's a felony. It's illegal. That's illegal.
Anything of value in exchange for them voting. Musk's political action.
You can't give somebody financial gain for the vote. That's illegal. That's not democracy.
Committee used a nearly identical tactic before the presidential election last year, offering $1 million a day to voters in Wisconsin and 6 other battleground states who signed a petition supporting the First and Second Amendments. A judge in Pennsylvania said prosecutors failed to show the day before the effort was an illegal lottery and allowed it to continue through Election Day. Now, the Wisconsin Supreme Court race comes as the court is expected to rule on abortion rights, congressional redistricting, union power, and voting rules that could affect the 2026 midterms and the 2028 presidential election. Musk initially said on a post on his social media platform that he...
Now, people have got to bear in mind, right, that Musk was not voted in by the American people. He's working for a department of the government that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has assigned him to work as the Doge fucking scapegoat for this big illegal fucking takeover of government by the billionaires. If people can't see this, then you're living in a fantasy world.
He planned on personally handing over $2 million to a pair of voters who have already cast their ballots in the race. Even though Musk's initial post was deleted, there's been no announcement that the payments will not be made. So that's where we're at, folks, in this country. And is that where we're headed? And is that what we're going to become? And I'm asking that. I'm literally asking you, the viewer.
Do you know what, mate? I hope not. I hope not, brother. I really hope not. For the American people, for the Western world, for the Western civilization, for capitalism. I mean, it's just went wild, man. They don't have any checks and balances. They've sacked every... It's a fucking joke. It's a fascist regime.
Is that where we're at now? Is it just going to simply be billionaires buying it? Well, I mean, what's the answer here? How do you contend with this, especially when courts are saying, yep, he can do that, no problem, no worries?
How you contend with this is you turn up at your local constituency, your local council building, whatever it's called, and wherever your states are, and you speak to your representatives from your local state, and you raise these points. You have to stand up against this. You can't just stand back and let this happen. This is fascism. This is a fascist regime. There is no ifs or buts. This is what it's built for the corporations. It's built for the billionaires. It's built for the oligarchs. It's built for the robber barons. It's not built for the people, which has effects on all of the world because, I mean, Donald Trump has threatened 7 countries. He sent Vance over to Denmark the other day. Nobody was there. Nobody asked them to come. Nobody in Denmark or Iceland are remotely interested in what they've got to say. It was a complete fucking hoax.
He's allowed to do that. There's no world in which this is normal. So what's the answer? Do we get someone like a Mark Cuban to come up and start throwing his money around? And everybody, and we just have billionaires fighting for us? Is that the direction that we're headed in? And we can't even really, there's really...
Sadly, I think that is the direction we're moving in, where it's going to be a fight between billionaires. Because the stock markets are crashing. That's when they'll buy up all the shares in all these companies, and they'll get them at bargain bonus prices and make even more money. I mean, fuck me. How many billions do you need? How many zeros do you need at the end of your bank balance? All you need is food and fucking water. Do you want to fuck, man?
No point in even addressing the die-hard MAGAs because we know where they stand. They do not care. If the last election was bought, they don't care if he buys every one of them from here on out. It will not bother them. That's what we're up against. And I've said for so long on the channel, and I still believe I'm right on this, MAGA has no new idea.
No, they don't have new ideas. I mean, the other day that Marjorie Green told one of the British journalists, it was a Sky correspondent. I don't particularly like Sky. I've never really listened to what they've got to say. But that journalist had a valid question, and Marjorie Green told her to get out, to go back to her own fucking country. I mean, if this isn't a fascist government who's controlling the media, then I don't know what is. I mean, wake up.
Is they want to take us back. They want to go backwards. They don't want to evolve. They don't want to progress. They don't want to move forward. They want to go backwards, and they will do so no matter who is leading the charge. They don't care as long as they get the result.
They have it in their head that it's a gilded age where the Americans are going to they're going to have this big empire, and they're just going to take Canada, Greenland, and all these other countries along with Gaza, and they're going to build real estate and fucking all this shit. But we're not meant to sit back and accept this and normalise it. No, well, look, there's going to be certain people like this man, like myself, and others who will speak about it and keep speaking about it and keep speaking about it until they cancel me, and then I'll do it again and again and again. I'm not giving up on this.
They won't. And that's because these are people who this entire time have just been watching, in their minds, a reality show. They've been sitting here watching this stuff. They just want to win. They do not care if this game is rigged. And I know I make a lot.
Yes, correct. They actually act like celebrities now. They don't act like politicians. They're acting like celebrities. I mean, you had Donald Trump watching over Elon Musk's son the other day, who took him on Air Force One, took him around. I mean, come on, fuck. Where does it stop?
A lot of WWE references, but that's because that's exactly what it looks like. When you go to see the WWE, you know the game is rigged. And you can have your picks, you can have your favorites as to who you might like to see win, but there's a guy behind the scenes that pulls the strings. They sit down, they script it, they go out there, and they perform it. And you sit back as the viewer and you watch. And if Roman Reigns goes over CM Punk or John Cena goes over Cody Rhodes, you either cheer or you boo. But the game was rigged when you walked through the door, and you know that going in. The fans don't care, though. That's the whole kicker. The fans still show up. They still fill up stadiums to this day to watch the scripted fight. And MAGA is the same way. They just want to see their guy win. They just want to have the victory. They just want to own the libs, to the point that they're perfectly okay with this happening. And I always go to this point anytime we're talking about these kind of things. Back when they gave Trump immunity for official acts, I said no one should want this on either side of the aisle, because if you give one president immunity for official acts.
What's happening here, my brother? Just doing a wee bit of soul searching and trying to educate people on what's happening in Washington at the moment.
Then the next person that comes along can say, hey, I've got it too. Now, if you're the biggest MAGA Republican in the world and you're cheering that Trump has immunity for official acts, what if we was to elect a Tim Walz, or we was to elect a, an AOC or an Andy Bashir, and they said, you know what, I've got immunity, so let's just lock all these people over here up. Let's just go over here. I mean, they never stop and think it through. My thought is you never want to give anyone unchecked power, because then the next person that gets unchecked power could come after you.
That's my point.
So if you allow this billionaire to...
if we let these people away with this, who's to stop the next government and the next government and the next government from doing the same things? Because they're financially gaining out it, and not on a small level, and a big, massive, major league level. Like, they own all the wealth, while we sit back and take fucking crumbs and put up with fucking rising cost of living in the West, rising cost of gas, petrol, fucking you name it. That's what's happening. They're cutting benefits. They're cutting the fucking Medicare in America. They're doing it in the West. This is what they're doing. They're collapsing the democracies in the West. Fuck knows why, but they are.
By elections, another billionaire could pop up. And I promise you right now, if there was a billionaire popping up and buying these things, MAGA would absolutely be losing their mind. They've already got George Soros painted as the biggest boogeyman on
Good evening, Bear Bones. I hope you're well.
earth. But if there was someone like a Mark Cuban, if Mark Cuban did the same exact thing and went to the same place and said the exact same thing, Sean Hannity, Jesse Waters, the youth pastor, Charlie Kirk of MAGA, Steve Bannon, they'd
all evangelists, all extremists. I mean, see the other day, right? There was a guy called Nicola, right? He also made EVs, electric vehicles, right? He was done for fraud. He was meant to get 10 years. He only get like 5 years. Donald Trump gives him a pardon the other day. He gets asked why he gave the man a pardon, and he sticks up for the guy. The guy went and made a video saying that he built this fucking electric fucking truck that didn't exist. It was a fucking hoax. Load of bullshit. But Trump fucking gives him a pardon. So Trump's filling his government with ex-criminals and ex-felons. That's a fact.
everyone be losing their minds, but they don't care because all they care about is winning. And we've been sitting over here talking about democracy. We've been over here calling ourselves pro-democracy.
You too, brother. Big up there, boys, my bro.
But we're watching it circle the drain. We're watching it go right down the toilet. And there's a lot of...
Do you know, at one point, if you remember, like before the second term of Donald Trump getting in, I thought, well, something's got to be better than fucking Sleepy Joe Biden. But then we get Trump, who comes into power for his second term, rips up everything that the Americans know. He's not doing anything for the American people, regardless of what people think. It's a hoax. It's all for the corporations. He's crashing the markets so then they can buy it all up very cheaply and expand. That's it. It's to make them rich. It's built to make them richer. Fuck knows why, but it's greed. It's greed at the highest order. And I'm just lucky I stay in the UK, because if I was saying these things and I stayed in the US, I'd probably have the fucking Secret Service at my door. Do you know what I mean?
Of good people that's been standing up for it. There's a lot of good people that's been standing up against this madness. There's people working overtime to stand up against this madness. But how do you...
Yes, my brother, just like you. You'd rather be playing your guitar because I know you're a great artist. You're an artist, my friend. He's an ex-serviceman. He fought in Vietnam. This man speaks sense. He'd rather be playing his guitar. I'd rather be playing my decks, playing music, having a laugh. But we have to fucking raise these points.
Combat this dude and his wealth. And if you'll notice here lately, when Trump's talking, he don't even know what's going on. This go around, he's literally saying things like, I don't remember signing that. I don't know. Somebody's taking care of it. It wasn't me. I don't know. First,
see, the other day, you know, Trump was talking about how condoms were getting sent to Hamas, right? And that's birth control, because let's be honest, over there, they just give birth and they don't care, right? So he said, first of all, he said one figure, and then he said another figure, and then he said another figure, how much it costs for these condoms to be sent to Hamas. Now, me personally, I don't know, they shouldn't get that now, right? But this is what fascists do. They'll cherry pick stuff. They'll cherry pick stuff that suits them at that time to make their narrative sound more appealing to the masses by stopping the condoms going to Hamas. Now, obviously, we all agree on that, right? We all agree on that. This is what fascists do, but they use the popular things that people are going to, the normal person, the normal you and me are going to agree with, right? This is what fascist governments do. While they're lining their own pockets, it's built for them and it's built for them only.
First time hearing about it, and I sit there to myself, and I'm not, and this is what makes this so difficult for me, is because I catch myself when I'm talking to my friends, I catch myself starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist myself.
Aye.
I catch myself saying, well,
you know what I mean?
Okay, did they just buy this thing and then, you know? This
is what I hate. People think I've got a tinfoil fucking hat on. Well, guess what? I'm well over that, right? I've been using the internet for fucking many years. this is unheard. That this is a new level of fucking unseen debauchery that we've never seen any government do in the West. Ever. Right? So, regardless of what anybody thinks, we are in full-scale fucking George Orwell, Brave New World bullshit.
They just eventually pull out the 25th Amendment when they're done with him? Do they just throw him in the garbage when they're done? I've always talked about him kicking people to the curb. Is there going to come the moment when they kick him to the curb and then we're stuck with J.D. Vance for the rest of our lives? And I'm not trying to sound hyperbolic or conspiracy theorist, but when you see shit like this, you can't help but wonder. And then when you see fellow Americans just sit back and clap, you say to yourself, was no one paying attention? So it just becomes a thing that will get harder and harder to combat as we go forward. We can sit here and we can encourage people to vote all day long, and we can all go to the polls and we can all
big up Tennessee. Brando, go and subscribe, please. I'm going to play another video now, right? So big up him. He's a gentleman. He's a nice guy. He's an artist. He's an ex-serviceman. He's speaking from the heart. He stays in America and he sees what's happening and he doesn't agree with it. So I'm totally with him. Right, so let's have a wee look at this. 2 seconds, people. I'll present it. Right there. I don't know if somebody's made this up. Nah, I don't want to play that. Hang on. Play something else. Play something that some of my posts that I put the other day. Somebody's made it up with AI. Oh, aye, that fucking dick face. Aye, what about the fucking knob jockey? Right, let's have a listen to this. Where is it? Look at this, right? Now, this is declassified, right? Now, why was the British public not informed that we were going to make strikes in Yemen? Why were we not informed? We're meant to be informed if our servicemen are going to bomb countries, but we're not being informed. We only find out from a independent news agency called Declassified UK, who I suggest you do go and subscribe to, who pay for Freedom of Information Acts, all the rest of it, and they put the truth out there. Now, Keir Starmer went and had a secret meeting with Donald Trump about the strikes in Yemen. Here's the proof, right? Here's the proof. This is the proof, people. Proof in the pudding. I'm not saying it, this guy is. No. This guy, I believe it because he's doing it independently. People give him donations so then they can pay for the Freedom of Information Act and get the proper files on exactly what's happening. But here we go.
In Gaza. Yemen's Houthi movement has resumed its blockade of Israeli shipping in the Red Sea, and this has infuriated Donald Trump, who's launched a wave of airstrikes in Yemen over the last week, killing women and children. But what's not been reported is that Keir Starmer has secretly embroiled Britain in those airstrikes on Yemen. And I'm joined now by Iona Craig, the reporter who broke this story for Declassified.
Thanks for having me, Phil. Before going on to Britain's role in these strikes, there's, of course, this story that has taken over the world.
The MAGA and the Washington regime don't want anybody speaking about. I mean, if they meet, One of the Sky correspondents asked Marjorie Green the other day about the fucking lapse. They were using Signal. See the app Signal? It's like almost like WhatsApp. They were using that to do war plans. They put their own servicemen in jeopardy because these war plans were put out before the strikes had actually happened. So they were putting their own fucking men at risk. Anyway, here we go.
World over the last few days, a story in the Atlantic of this now infamous Signal group chat, which the Atlantic's editor was somehow CC'd into or part of. As much as there has been an uproar about how that happened and the security issues over that, a lot of what's missing in that coverage is the outcome of that chat. The subject of that chat is the first strikes in Yemen by the US under the Trump administration. And the very first one of those strikes on that night, on the 15th of March, which is detailed in that reporting in the Atlantic from the Signal group chat. And that strike killed at least 13 civilians. The Yemen Data Project, which I work with, we released a report on the first week of strikes, and that showed that at least 25 civilians were killed in that first week. And I think this...
So when did the British public get told we were at war with Yemen? When? Why does it take an independent fucking news agency to pay a Freedom of Information Act to find this out? I mean, come on, fuck.
Really sickening part of it was sort of seeing Michael Waltz, the national advisor to Trump, using...
This is like a bunch of fucking school kids all going, yes, kudos to all the most particular those that... Look, that's it. This is the people who run Washington, people. This is the new age. This is the new age. We have to accept this and show our allegiance to these fucking nutcases.
Sort of emojis in his response to how well the strikes had gone. You know,
this is before the strikes had happened. Oh,
fist bump and a fire emoji along with an American flag. Michael Waltz has claimed that that first strike hit their top missile guy. They're obviously referring to the Houthis, I assume, and that top missile guy had just walked into his girlfriend's house. So they clearly knew that they were hitting a civilian.
So they clearly knew there was a civilian there, and they still attacked.
In building and a civilian home.
You've got this exclusive for us about Britain's involvement with this wave of airstrikes. Can you tell us about what you found and how you found out about it?
It was because I focused so much on Yemen that I was watching these strikes happening. They started on Saturday the 15th.
See, this is the problem. This is what Donald Trump is very good at, right? And his administration regime, let's say. They put out that much misinformation along with real information that the media can't keep up with. So you get certain correspondents focusing on one issue, then the next day he hits you with another fucking issue, another one, and you can't keep up with it. So it's quite hard to keep up with people. I understand that, but you need to fucking get informative and realise what's really going on here.
15th of March in Yemen. And on Sunday, I was watching the kind of flight radar and tracking that is publicly available for anybody to look at, and noticed this RAF aircraft that had come.
So she's noticed this. Look, she's noticed this by mistake. I don't know for sure. Don't hold me to that. But look.
From Cyprus, and was when I was watching it in the Red Sea, in the northern Red Sea, and that.
So why is the public in the UK not aware of this? If our servicemen and our women and children and fucking all the rest of it are out there doing this, while these fucking idiots are using Signal to fucking organise the strikes and we're not even told about it. Oh my God.
That was in the rough location of where the US strike carrier group is now stationed, which is the USS Harry S. Truman strike carrier group, which the Americans have been using for this campaign of bombing in Yemen. And I looked at it and thought, why would that RAF aircraft be there? It's an air tanker, so it's designed for air-to-air refueling. And it was in the Red Sea for some hours over the evening on Sunday, the 16th of March, and returned back. And then looking at the track record of it, it had been there on the Saturday on the 15th when the airstrike started as well. And that was really then confirmed to me by a defense source who said, yes, the RAF was not involved in airstrikes, but they were involved in supporting the defense of the USS Harry S. Truman.
So they try and dress it up and try and they try and play it down. You know what I mean? Fuck me. They were involved.
With air-to-air refueling. And this is really kind of crucial to them.
If they're refueling the aircraft to go and do the fucking airstrikes, they're involved. They're complicit in the airstrikes. The United Kingdom should be told and be aware of airstrikes being conducted in our name, especially if they're cutting benefits for the weakest in society, but they have money for these airstrikes, apparently.
Those strikes.
Why are the US and UK?
Oh, what happened there? Oh, sorry, people. Don't know why that happened. Right about that. I just skipped that for some reason. Right there. I think we're there. We'll start there. We're over here, I think. Shit! Why is it doing that? Sorry, people. 2 seconds.
Crucial to those strikes.
Why are the US and UK carrying out these strikes and not Israel? Because it seems like this is being done largely
Good
for
question.
benefit rather than the interest.
Good fucking question, mate. Why is it America and fucking the United Kingdom are carrying out these airstrikes that benefits Israel? Why? Why? Why?
That's the British public here.
Well, yeah, there's two things I'd say on that. Is firstly, yeah, when Trump first started these strikes on the 15th of March, you know, the message that went out was this was to stop Houthi attacks on international shipping. There hadn't actually been any strikes by the Houthis on commercial vessels since the 18th of November last year. So they had, well,
since the oh my God, since Israel and Hamas came to an agreement where they were handing back over the hostages and there was a ceasefire. So the Houthis stopped attacking any ships going down that canal at that point in time. Obviously, they were frustrated because the ceasefire had lost its credence, and Israel again start their shit. And then the UK and America get involved when they don't need to get involved. Why? Why is the public not informed about this?
Certainly paused, even if they hadn't stopped. The only recent attacks have been against US aircraft carriers in the Red Sea, which hadn't happened since the Gaza ceasefire. So the ceasefire in Gaza had led to a kind of de facto ceasefire in Yemen, if you like. And so
So if you listen to her there, she actually said during the ceasefire, the Houthis stopped attacking our ships, right? Our cargo ships. Because that's what they were doing, right? They were attacking our ships. And is it the Suez Canal? I can't remember. Don't quote me on that, right? But it was one of our shipping canals, right? And the Houthis kept on attacking it. That's wrong, right? It needs dealt with. Correct. But the public in the UK should be made aware of this. But for some reason, Keir Starmer went with Donald Trump, never told anybody, never told the public, and then this happens. Anyway.
Only thing that had changed in the week or the days before these airstrikes started was that the Houthis had given an ultimatum to Israel to say, we will renew our blockade on the Red Sea. We will prevent Israeli or Israeli-linked ships going through the Red Sea if you don't lift the blockade on Gaza. And as we know...
Let me make this clear. I do not support Hamas, the Houthis, any of these organisations. I am looking at this from a humanitarian point of view. I'm looking at this from a democratic point of view, and I believe the UK public should be aware if we're dropping bombs on indiscriminately on countries and they're not telling us. I believe they should be telling us. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck knows.
Israel had been preventing humanitarian aid, food, water, even humanitarians themselves from going into Gaza. The Houthis gave Israel an ultimatum, gave them a deadline. When that deadline expired after 4 days, obviously Israel hadn't lifted that blockade on Gaza or the siege of Gaza. And so the Houthis said they were going to relaunch attacks on Israeli-linked vessels in the Red Sea. Now, no strikes against those vessels had happened, but this appears to be a preemptive move by the Trump administration in defense of Israeli shipping, if you like, by carrying out these strikes before the Houthis had actually done anything.
And the defense source has indicated to you that the jets that the RAF were refueling were not the ones doing the airstrikes, but the ones that were kind of flying around above the aircraft carrier to defend it in case the Houthis sent in drones or missiles during the 5-6 hour onslaught. But do you think that distinction will really make much difference to the families of those who've died in Yemen during those airstrikes? I mean, there's horrific footage that's been published by the Houthis. I'm not sure how much of it we can actually show because it is so graphic, of very young children with horrendous burns. Do you think their families will really see much of a distinction here in the way the RAF has tried to say, well, we're sort of involved in the defense side of the operation, but not the offensive side of it?
No, I'm sure not in the same way as it the type of missiles or whether it be, in the past when it was America carrying out strikes in Yemen, it was often drone strikes to a person on the ground. It makes little difference whether it's a drone or a fighter jet carrying out those strikes. But yeah, and it comes down to the same thing in the sense that Britain is enabling that bombing campaign. This is
Correct.
Enabling those strikes, whether that is...
And the fucking United Kingdom public should know.
Filling up the fuel tanks of a fighter jet that's carrying out strikes, or a fighter jet that's flying loops around the strike carrier.
So that's like say I was my friend, say I was with someone, right? For talk's sake, hypothetically speaking, right? If I handed somebody a knife, right, and they went and stabbed someone with that knife, I'm part of that. I'm involved in the conspiracy of that guy using a knife. And say there was a murder, say the guy murdered the guy, I'm complicit in that. So the UK government is complicit in this.
The group,
Your stammer.
It is enabling America to carry out the bombing campaign, whichever way you look at it, in the sense of Britain helping and supporting the US and what it's doing. It needs the UK support in order to be able to carry out as many strikes as it can in that night.
It needs the UK support because the United Kingdom have the best of the best. They're not called the SAS for nothing. They need your support, and Donald Trump should remind himself of this. But this is maybe why Keir Starmer felt the need that he had to go and fuel the tanks for the bombers. So I get it, right? They're attacking our shipping lanes. I get it. But the public should know. It shouldn't be a fucking secret. We shouldn't have to go through Freedom of Information Act's not the fucking rest yet.
It obviously doesn't hold enough fuel to be able to do that alone. Otherwise, why would it be asking the RAF to do that? And so we are enabling this bombing campaign. Some of the targets we've seen being hit. I mean, UN agencies have actually confirmed that at least 2 children.
Well, your answer to that, mate, as long as you put a bit of cheese and tomato and a wee bit of pepper on it, I'm not even bothered, mate. But that's another story.
Children were killed.
Thanks for commenting.
In those strikes, one was age 6 and the other one was 8. 2 boys. Airstrikes have hit a school in Sada.
Do you hear that? They hit a fucking school. What for? Why did they hit a school? We won't know until about 50 years' time, no doubt. Fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Big up Andy. Thanks for joining us, mate.
There have been power stations hit, part of a hospital, a kind of medical dispensary, if you like, of a medical clinic that was hit, and residential areas in Al Jarrah, in the northern part of Sana'a.
Look, we get the gist. It's disgusting, right? It's disgusting on every level. There's no other way of putting it. We're complicit in this fucking bullshit that they're taking us into. Yet again, the Americans. But Trump says it here. It's what I laugh. What, see this?
When I was growing up, left was being like you cared about the poor, and we.
Dodgy Dave! Here, you've not got to look in, mate. My bow would take your bow right out of me.
It's the gap between the rich and the poor, you know. That's what it was like when I was growing up. So I end up a couch potato and playing computer games all day and not discussing the actual things that's affecting my life and my friends and family's lives. But you know, I might be left.
It's not that, right? Does anybody get, right, anybody who's got half a brain that realises why I made this? See, every time they go and try and speak to somebody who's left, they go to somebody who's far, 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 far left with a bow in their head, or fucking pink hair and 20 earrings through their fucking nose, right? I'm not saying it like, it's not an attack on these kind of people, right? What I'm saying is, they go for the extreme left. They don't ask the ordinary public who are left, who are poor, and have been supporting Labour for years because they think Labour stands for what it fucking says, what it says on the tin, anyway.
Put him out that far left. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Just madness and sanity and maniacs. Just Cyrus will be on the deck soon, expressing himself to the maximum. It's madness and sanity, you maniacs. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. It's good afternoon time. Welcome to the fascist regime.
Welcome to the fascist regime.
Washington.
It's this one? No, fuck that one.
Enter the...
Oh, somebody get me a hold of this cunt's number. I want to know where this guy is. DJ Cooper, you're a DJ, you're an artist. Andrew, you're an artist. Why are these guys not singing about this shit? Back when we were growing up, they sang about this shit, but for some reason...
Right, I need to say this. Oh my God.
Wait, that bizarre.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays.
I think he's grew into his hair and he's forgot all about the fucking humanity.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I want to shoot. Ooh.
I want to shoot up a school. Do you know what that song's about? That song's about a young girl who shot up a school in America many, many years ago. The Boomtown Rats. That's Bob Geldof for the younger generation who don't know who he is. he done a thing called Live Aid, where he tried to get money for the Ethiopians, and then they done another one where they tried to eradicate poverty. But for some reason, in the last 10, 20 years, we don't see any pop stars or any artists speaking whatsoever about what's going on in the world. Things that we haven't seen in their entire lifespans. Anyway.
Right, I need to say this. Oh my God. Right, so I've got people coming in my chat, right, who clearly are right, against Keir Starmer, right, and I'm against Keir Starmer, right. I put a post out about how the 25 billion pounds has been seized off the Russians. Why did they not use that money for the cuts?
Right, so 25, here, wait for it, 25 billion pounds has been seized from Putin and the oligarchs. Why are we not using that for the cuts? They could use 5 billion in that, right? Pay everyone their benefits that they're entitled to because they have paid tax. But they won't. They just won't. Why? They could easily pay that 5 billion. Easily give us, without these stringent fucking you need these many points, that points. Now, obviously, there's scammers out there, but there's legitimate people who are ill, who need PIP and adult disability payments to have a better life, to get to work. You can actually, do you know something? People don't realise this. Maybe if you work, you won't realise this. But you can get PIP if you work, if you're disabled. It's to get you to work. Right? So, like, I can't understand. It doesn't make sense. They've got 25 billion they've seized off a rogue state, right? Who we believe are our enemy. 25 billion pounds. Where's that money went? Where's the money went from leaving the EU? Where's that went? Where's it all went? But still they insist in cutting benefits for the weakest in our society. Why?
Right, I need to say this. Oh my God. Right, so I've got people coming in my chat, right, who clearly are right, against Keir Starmer, right, and I'm against Keir Starmer, right. I put a post out about how the 25 billion pounds has been seized off the Russians. Why did they not use that money for the cuts? Why don't they use that?
Do you know Tony, big up Tony Macaroni in the Black Hill Toy in a place? Brother, you're bang on it, bro. But, I mean, how easy would it be? They could still eat cheese and drink champagne all fucking day long, mate. And still pay fucking benefits to the weakest in society, brother. And the only reason why the floodgates get opened to fraudsters is because the Conservative government, who was in power for 14 years, 15 years almost, made a thing called universal credit, which you done over the phone, which opened the floodgates for all these immigrants who came over and make claims over the phone. So whose fault's that? Is that my granny's fault? My auntie's fault? The lady down the stairs' fault? Who's disabled? No. Do you know what I mean? But we're the ones who have to pay the brunt. I don't get it. I'll repeat it.
I need to say this. Oh my God. Right, so I've got people coming in my chat, right, who clearly are right, against Keir Starmer, right, and I'm against Keir Starmer, right. I put a post out about how the 25 billion pounds has been seized off the Russians. Why did they not use that money for the cuts? Why don't they use that money for the cuts that they've seized from the oligarchs from Russia? But then I've got people who support Tommy Bobson, all the rest of it. They hate Keir Starmer. They can't stand him. But they're all for the cuts against the poor, the benefits.
Which I'll never understand, because all you're doing is you're giving them a bigger stick to hit you with. So I don't get it. I'm sure all these people on YouTube, right? I see them day in, day out, talking about child abuse all day, every fucking day, and that's all they can talk about, but they support Tommy Bobson and all this fucking right-wing bullshit. Now, like I said, I'm no far left, I'm no far right, I'm a humanitarian. I'm looking at this from a humanitarian point of view.
The cuts. You're absolutely disgusting, a lot of you. You won't be saying that when your wee mammy and your grannies and all that all lose their money. Have a nice day, people. God bless you. All a good.
Never fucking fuck with a fucking fucked up fucker. That doesn't give a fucking fuck. Now go out and fucking spread this fucking fuckery, motherfucker. Fuck.
Why so serious? Let's put a...
Basil, what's happening? You alright?
Oh, Bob. What happened? What happened, Bob?
Is that you, Bob?
Sort this out.
Bob, is that you? Is that you, Bob?
Well, to sort this trouble or not, Barry.
What trouble?
And all the bother will pass.
What, phoning his fucking wife, using his fucking kids' pictures, or the rest of it?
Why do you want to? Why do you want to? Why do you?
You know why, Baz? Because he knows he's fucked up. That's why he's phoning you begging.
Why do you want to try and sort it with me, though, Bob?
But it's just getting mad now.
What do you mean?
No, your arse is starting to make wee buttons in it. Tell the truth, look, the wee rabbit job is your wee dog's day.
Come to my door now.
Bob.
But you don't clean up, you smelly bastard.
Bob, I would never come to your door, you daft cunt.
There you go.
No! What? Oh my...
That's what you do with a fucking record.
My God!
I'll be looking forward to meeting you. Jesus! I wasn't quite expecting that. I've never met him before, even from back in the day. Looks like a nutter, is a nutter, but apparently doesn't even do any drugs.
No mofos!
You just remind me of like...
Brother, Tony, it's disgusting, brother. I've seen it with my own eyes and all, mate. Even with my local church. I'm not going to say names or anything, but I've seen it, mate. It's so disheartening, mate. It's so disheartening.
You know, the man from the Prodigy.
Oh, thank you. No, it's just absolutely great.
Anyway.
Right, now, I don't know if you can hear me. Listen to this weirdo, right?
No, this is me making a video about Elon Musk. Elon Musk seems to think that that we all want to live in a fucking sci-fi movie. Do you know what I mean? This guy's unhinged. He's jumping about with flamethrowers. Fucking, he's selling motors that don't fucking work and blow up. He's selling fucking radar fucking wagons that you can smash a window with a fucking pebble. Know what I mean? But anyway, here we go. Listen to my wee video.
Listen to this. Right, not this bit, sorry. Wait to rewind it a wee bit.
Rocket boy.
It's this bit here, I think. Right. But you hear this guy? This guy is unhinged. No one in America voted.
Do you know that Elon Musk was brought up in South Africa just at the point of the apartheid when the white prime minister took control? So it was an apartheid state. Now, we don't have any evidence that he supported this. We don't. I can't say he supported that regime. But in the last couple of months, what we've seen him in power in Washington, the things he's reposting on his own platform, Twitter, that he bought into on purpose to get a fucking foothold in government, he's using that as a propaganda machine for his narrative to sell fucking motors for the White House. Anyway, people, I mean, am I the only one fucking seeing this?
For Elon Musk. This guy's a con man. He's a South African who came into America, appeared from nowhere.
Correct.
It goes on.
Correct. See, when Nikola Tesla, right? He done a deal with a guy called Edison, right? And it was a banking company. It was, I can't remember their name, who backed them. Nikola Tesla came up with free energy. He knew how to harness energy and how to send it through the air to a specific place and harness it and power things, right? So this technology's always been there. It's just been lying dormant somewhere in a file and fucking some CIA, fucking FBI building planked in a corner. And then the South African, who's a complete racist, in my humble opinion, I believe he's a racist. He was brought up in an apartheid state. His father was involved in a movement you couldn't even start to even imagine. I mean, not just this guy bangs on about eugenics, right? And about how the population has too many people in it. Yet he has 14 children to 4 different women, right? One of his children are actually a trans. He takes nothing to do with that child whatsoever because she's trans. He's trans or non-binary, whatever you want to call it, right? I mean, what the fuck? This he's a puppet master.
On about eugenics and population control while he keeps on just giving birth, impregnating women and just more or less you could call him a baby farmer.
Seem to follow wherever he goes.
It's coming up.
It's been extremely high.
No.
It's really high. No, mate, you're high with ketamine, mate.
You've been extremely high with ketamine, mate.
Some sort of party.
For launching rockets.
Mate, your rockets keep failing.
Andy's rockets keep failing. That's a fact.
Bro, you're an absolute clown.
Anyway, fuck
Hey,
that.
listen. Keep going. Because for all the days where you didn't feel like it, you're about to be thankful that you did. Hey, listen.
What is wrong with me calling for peace? Why is it you are so, like, I'm not saying everyone, right? What I'm saying is, why is it my adversaries on social media who know me, right, are so against peace? Why don't they want a peaceful world? Why is it they're against it? You get people who come in, right, who support this and try and normalise genocide. Nah, not under my fucking watch.
All the good people
Arab turns tap.
Somebody's
Aye.
me. Is my anxiety.
Might be a day I need to get dressed up like that. I hope that fucking day does not come.
It's a lie. It was bike seats. I was sniffing. What you got to do about it? Nothing. It's a lie. It was
mountain bike seats, ya bomb pots. Right there. Here, that's a good, yeah.
Good morning, my people. What's happening? DJ Cyrus here. Just letting you know, there's a new movement happening. A peaceful movement. We're going to stand up against the oligarchs, the billionaires. And we're going to use our platforms to do so.
Correct. Use your platforms wisely.
Trust me in this. If people stick together and we stand as one and sing off the one hymn sheet, then we will succeed. You see, when
we're divided, it won't work. It just won't work.
People speak, they have to listen. So stand with DJ Cyrus and save your rich and touchable soul. Stand for what's right. It's not about being far left. It's not about being far right. It's about doing the right thing, people.
Correct. It's about doing the right fucking thing.
In this country, for the last 20 to 30 years, has been treating us like dirt.
Correcto mondo. Comprende?
Because we keep letting them away with one thing, and then it's another thing, and then another thing, and they're stealing our civil liberties.
Our civil liberties that mean everything. It means our lives, the way it affects our lives, the way we spend our money, everything that affects us, no matter what any you say. If we are divided, they will win. If we stand together, we are stronger.
So anyway, people, God bless. Have a fantastic day. And remember to subscribe. Adios.
Remember to subscribe. Don't forget, because I'll be putting out proper information that I've researched and looked into. So if anybody wants to take me up on that challenge, they're more than welcome to come on the panel and take me up on this challenge. Like, fuck all this. This is shit.
If
right?
you're a homo...
This is all shit right there. Let me see. I've got some posts I want you to see, right? Right, back to my channel. Right, hang on 2 seconds. Oh, look, I've lost a couple of subscribers. I wonder why, yeah. Let's see. Where are they? Fuck me, do you know what I mean? Is it me it's fucking mad or everybody fucking else? In fact, you know what I'll play right there? I want you to see this before I'm going to play some music, right? But I want you to see this. This fucking faggot, right? This fucking absolute muppet sent me and tagged me in this the other day, right? Now, I wrote this 2 months ago, right? 2 months ago, I slagged him. This fucking muppet right here, right? JP is asking for you. Just passing on a message. I don't know what's going to happen with you. Not my problem. Good luck. Why you giving me the heads up, you fucking mongo? Humble dryer. Sorry, what? No answer. So he's a muppet. He's just an absolute fucking tool with a guy, man. I mean, what? He just want me to mention his fucking name. Let's have it fucking straight, right? And then I've got, hold on, then I've got the dark side saying, are you his friend? Why would I be this guy's friend when he threatened to firebomb my housemate? So what are you fucking talking about? Anyway. Oh my goodness me. Honestly, man, what the fuck am I dealing with? I want you to see this. Because this is mind blowing, this shit. Where is it, man? Is it my lives, my playlist shorts? What about my posts? Wait there, 2 seconds. Here, thank you very much. By the way, I've had 22,000.5k in the last 7 days. Thank you for tuning in for my music. Thank you for listening to me when I'm getting on a rant. All I'm calling for is peace. Nothing more, nothing less. Big up the 22.k in the last 7 days. Thank you. Right, oh, so there's the sabotage. I spoke about that earlier about Elon Musk. Much nothing to do with his trans daughter. Right, where is it? No, look at this. Look, I used to think that communication was key until I realised that comprehension is you can communicate all you want to, but if if they don't understand you, it won't reach them. So what I'm saying now probably won't reach some of you, right? But in the long run, you will come back on this and say, well, Chris had a point. Right, so let's have a wee read about. Now, I had a wee look into J.D. Vance, right? Now, J.D. Vance is a rising figure in American politics. He's been criticised for his views. Many see him as sympathetic to an authoritarian and reactive ideology. His rhetoric often echoes in nationalist and exclusively themes. That means like the way he sees it, right? So his themes are aligned with the far right. That's a given, right? So he has expressed his admiration for leaders who undermine democracy norms. Well, he does not explicitly endorse fascism, and I will say that again. He doesn't say it outright, right? He doesn't say it, but he endorses fascism and Nazi ideology. His willingness to downplay the dangers of authoritarianism and his alignment with hard right figures raise concerns about the commitment to democratic principles. Vance embraces a populist, anti-immigrant, racial charged narrative reflects a dangerous shift in American politics, one that echoes similar patterns seen in other nations where democracies have been eroded. His influence, if left unchecked, could be far-reaching implications not just for the United States, but for its allies, including the United Kingdom, where the rise of authoritarian leaders has often mirrored the trends of the US, right? So there you go. There's J.D. Vance, right? Let's have a look at Netanyahu, right? The attack on Israel by Hamas on October the 7th was horrific. An indefensible act of violence that claimed the lives of innocent civilians, violating all moral and humanitarian principles. However, the response by Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF has escalated the situation to unprecedented levels of devastation, with mass civilian casualties, destruction of essential infrastructure of Gaza. Netanyahu's actions have blatantly violated international humanitarian law, indiscriminately. Bombings all over the map, right? Let's fucking have it right here. We're not going to dress it up. He's bombing wherever he wants, whenever he wants, and the UK and the US are backing it. Anyway, sorry for interrupting that. The use of the collective punishment and the blockade of aid. Now, this is the problem right here. It blows my mind, right? That bit there, right? Why is he blockading aid for civilians who aren't Hamas? Anyway, all of which amount to a potential war crimes. What's more, much of a weaponry used in these assaults, as confirmed by serial numbers and the military records, or the origins of these weapons are from Western countries, primarily United States and the United Kingdom, enabling the continuation of suffering of the Palestinian civilians, unchecked supply of weapons, fuel the violence, and perpetuates a humanitarian catastrophe that has rarely been seen in modern history, leaving an undeniable stain on consciousness of the global community. It's important to be clear that this is not coming from an anti-Semitic position. So let me say this again. It's important to be clear, right? So listen to what I'm saying. I'll highlight this. So you get this, right? It's important to be clear that this is not coming from an anti-Semitic position. Criticising Netanyahu's response and questioning the actions of his government is not condemnation of the Jewish people or their right of security. Rather, it is an acknowledgement that Netanyahu's actions have eroded basic human rights and escalated a crisis to catastrophic levels, compromising the moral standing of Israel and endangering the innocent lives of both sides. Right? So there's Netanyahu. Right? Let's go on to Elon Musk. Right, so this is Elon Musk, which I put a bit of research into. Elon Musk was raised in South Africa during the apartheid era. It's important to consider how that the environment may have shaped his worldview and approach to power. Musk's family wealth partly came from Emerald Zimbabwe, which indirectly benefited from the system that systematically oppressed the black majority. Right, so now, if people think that Elon Musk has any sort of empathy for black people, then in my humble opinion, I think you're wrong. He was brought up in an apartheid state. He's from South Africa. He was born when it was just kicking in. So there isn't any evidence that he backed it, but there is evidence that he was born into it. So his ideology and his thoughts and the way he acts, well, there is no direct evidence. There you go, look. Well, there is no direct evidence actively supporting apartheid. He grew up in a society where racial equality was normalised. Some argue that the way he runs his companies today, which we all know what he done, he sacked black people for being black in his company, with a focus on accumulating power, minimising regulations and avoiding accountability. It reflects an elements of a system where the power was concentrated in the hands of the privileged few, the billionaires and robber barons. That's my point. Similar, Donald Trump has cultivated a political system that seeks to maintain power in the hands of the white elite, ignoring historical inequalities and promoting reactionary agenda. Both Trump and Musk present themselves as anti-establishment figures, yet their actions in practice reinforce a status quo that favours the wealthy, the powerful, the robber barons, the billionaires, by using their influence to undermine the media. Now, we know this because Fox News is so far up fucking Trump's arse. I mean, you couldn't even get rid of that golden straw. Anyway, it goes on to say the regulation and democratic norms, they help sustain a system where the white room, a metaphor for spaces where white power, wealth, access remain concentrated privileged hands, in the privileged hands, continues to thrive. That's facts, right? So let's go into Donald Trump, right? So Donald Trump, let's have a wee listening to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has repeatedly undermined the US Constitution, democratic principles through actions that threaten the foundations of American democracy. He has refused to accept the results of a free and fair election. he spread baseless claims of voter fraud, incited violence, encouraged his supporters to disrupt the peaceful Do you remember? Who remembers? I remember. He disrupted the peaceful transfer of power, most notably during the 6th insurrection. Limited executive power and attempted to pressure state officials to overturn legitimate election results. His rhetoric often promotes division, right? Disrupts the institutions and undermines the faith in democratic process. These actions echo the hallmarks of authoritarianism, align with fascism tactics, and seek to concentrate the power, silence the dissent, erode democratic norms by manipulating the public sentiment and using misinformation as a weapon for Trump's actions to pose a direct threat against principles of freedom, equality, justice, and the Constitution. That's it in a nutshell. That's it. That's it, man. I mean, how can you deny this shit? Right, this fucking bitch. Wait, you see this, right? Right, see this? Her name's Marjorie Green, right? She's a MAGA maniac, right? She squats more than me and fucking Dickie Heggie and fucking Jeff Capes could do together, right? This fucking mad nut job, right? Wait, you see this? Wait, you see this? Right. Now, this is a woman who works for the federal government, right? In the United States. Speaking to... Now, I don't like Sky. I'm not going to say I like Sky because I don't. But this lady is asking a valid...
on camera last night, and I... All right, Mark.
Now, I would like you to go and subscribe to Adam Mockler. You can join and be a partner in his Patreon and all the rest of it. But please go and subscribe. He's a great channel. He's a young lad. He knows what he's talking about. And he's got a close eye on what's going on over the pond, let's say. Right? So here we go.
Marjorie Taylor Greene had a little bit of a meltdown on camera last night. And I want to break it down because on one hand, it's very embarrassing for Marjorie Taylor Greene and the MAGA movement. But on the other hand, it's kind of embarrassing for the American people. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a full-grown woman who's supposed to represent a certain amount of Americans.
Big up Aztec, my boy.
A certain district, and who works in the United States House of Representatives, who's asked a very serious question about national security and decides to throw a tantrum. I mean, just read this article title. Marjorie Taylor Greene tells British reporter asking about signal scandal to, quote, go back to your country. Why would you tell a reporter, why would you tell anybody to go back to your country? That's a very MAGA thing to say. And you know, before we read this article, let's just play the video. And then I have another one.
Not just that, she's not
from the other day.
She's not talking to Zimbabwe or fucking some third world country. She's talking to the United Kingdom. She's talking to one of your journalists. Now, regardless of what you think of Sky, this lady is asking a valid question about the fucking security breach of Washington using Signal as a fucking gateway for their war plans that could put their own fucking men and women in jeopardy. But when she's asked this question because she's a fucking MAGA maniac, Marjorie Greene, the fucking nutcase, she tells the journalist to go back to her own country. Here, let's get a listen, right?
But man, this video is bad. All that I ask is that you scroll down, make sure you leave a like, and let's check this out.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what?
Hang on 2 seconds. Please go and drop a like on Adam's channel and leave some blue hearts. It helps his channel build. Thank you.
Country are you
From
from?
the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
This is what fascists do, right? So she's saying we have a massive migrant. Why don't you go back to your own country where women are getting raped? Oh my God, are we hearing this? Are we hearing this? I can't believe I'm hearing this shit.
And you no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care
No,
about
no, no.
American
I
lives
don't. No,
being put
no.
Can I just
Oh fuck! Wait there.
the like? Let's check this out.
Right, sorry, I'm about to shut up for 2 seconds. I'm going to play it again. Watch this. Now, this is, you can't do this to journalists. See, in a democracy, it doesn't fathom out. It's not normal. This isn't normal. She's a representative for fucking Trump's government, and she's telling a fucking correspondent for Britain to go back to her own country because women are getting raped. I mean, what the fuck are we hearing here? I'm going to play it and shut up.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are
advise-
you? Wait, what country are you
From
from?
the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay, do
And
you
you
care-
no. You should care about your own
Okay,
borders.
do you care
No,
about
no.
American
I
lives
don't, no,
being put at
no.
risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care
I'm
about
not-
American lives being put at
Right, bear in mind, right, the size of Britain to the size of America. Now, Ted Bundy came out of America, Jeffrey Dahmer came out of America, you fucking name it, every fucking mental case serial killer, the biggest serial killers, your BFKs, your fucking nut jobs, all came out of America. But she's slagging one out. One of our correspondents telling one of our correspondents to get the fuck out of the country, like as if she's, I mean, what the fuck's going on here, man? This is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like this in my whole lifetime, ever.
You know what? I don't care. I don't.
service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about
and
your
your
fake
vice
news.
president
Do you have a
and your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary.
So incredibly embarrassing, but watch, it gets better. And by the way, when Marjorie Taylor Greene says you have rapist migrants in your country, dude, we have a rapist as our president, and she will defend him.
Good
Marjorie
shout.
will defend him. But now,
Good shout,
watch the
son.
American Reporter button.
I don't care
And
about your
your vice
fake news.
president?
Do you
Good shout, Adam. Big up Adam Mockler. Go and subscribe to Adam. Brilliant channel. Good lad, man. He's a good lad. He's right on it. He's on this. He's fucking on this. Fucking mad weirdo. Women telling one of our correspondents, get back to your own country. Listen to this fuck. And then, wait till you hear what happens, right? So what happens is, she asks a valid question about the security breach that they use Signal as their fucking war planner. And then one of the American correspondents stick up for her and say, well, we want to know what she's got to say. But what your answer is what she's just said. What?
have a
And your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary?
Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm American and I'd like to
Look at this. So she's right. You can't See, in a democracy, you can't pick and choose what fucking media outlets who have got no media outlet should have any power over another media outlet, regardless of what country, where you come from, regardless, in a democracy. But she clearly tries to outline this Sky journalist. Like I said, I don't like Sky. I will repeat that. But at the same time, it's a valid question. It's a valid question. And then this American journalist says, well, listen.
your answer to what she's asked.
I'm not answering her.
So we want your answer to what our UK journalist just asked you, you fucking mad woman.
Her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can
Do you
answer.
have any concerns whatsoever with that?
Like, she doesn't care about the network. I don't care about the network. But I certainly wouldn't speak to her like that. Especially being a woman. Have some self-respect, Marjorie Greene. For yourself, never mind your country. Remember, the UK is a very important region in the world. Don't dismiss our journalists.
About the complete disregard of operational security from the top level of this administration.
You want to know about complete disregard about operational security? You should talk about the Biden administration, how they ripped our borders open to terrorists, cartel, child sex trafficking, human.
The same old shit. We already know this. We know they were fuck ups. We know. Yous are worse. Yous are 100 times worse. Do you know this woman's a fucking multi-millionaire? Multi-millionaire. Fuck me, man.
Traffic.
She's like an NPC with pre-programmed talking points. I honestly thought she was going to bring up the Hunter Biden.
I actually think, Adam, I don't know if you'll hear this, I actually think she's got the fucking Elon chip in her fucking heat. This one. She's got an Adam's apple. I think she's a guy. There you go. I'm just having a joke, mate. But honestly, man, this is fucking unheard of.
Laptop, and there's more to the clip. It gets a little bit more heated, but can I just really quickly point out, this is not just a heated exchange. I don't even think you can call this a heated exchange. It was an intentionally public display of contempt for the press from Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's also a lot of contempt for our international allies in there. She very specifically asks for an American reporter. And then I love, drop a like and some blue hearts for that American reporter. I love when he goes, hey, I'm from America and I have the same question. And Marjorie goes, oh, but you have to re-ask the question. And then he completely restates the question.
Big up the American reporter. Big up the American reporter for standing up for the press. Now, regardless of what you think of Sky or this or that, she asked a valid fucking question. And this nutcase here, the millionaire fucking Adam's apple, fucking lift 300k, fucking I don't know what she's lifting, is giving it, get back to your own country. Who the fuck does she think she is? Who do these people think they are? We're meant to be their allies. We helped to beat Nazi Germany.
Question. So again, this is a lot of contempt for the press in one clip, a lot of contempt for allies, contempt for any form of accountability. MAGA is allergic to accountability. And it's one thing to challenge the premise of a question. It's very fair. I've seen Democratic politicians do that. They say, hey, the premise of your question is entirely flawed. It's another thing to just throw a temper tantrum and shut down a journalist. By shut down, I mean kind of just whine on camera because
100% Adam on me on this, bro.
Of their accent, because of their nationality, and then spiral into unrelated talking points about immigration and rape statistics. I mean, listen.
Biden administration, how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job.
What the fuck's that got to do with you, Elon Musk, fucking all the billionaires all taking control of the White House? Why is it you keep on using these small minority problems, right, that we all have in every fucking country in the world, right? Because it happens in every country in the world, regardless. But why is it these people will use small minority fucking problems, make them big, massive problems to the public for popular, for people who don't read to fall into it and support it blindly without realizing what the fuck is happening here?
And I stand by their statements. I stand by their statements. My comment to you.
You stand by you and your billionaire robber barons. That's who you stand by.
Is I'm thankful to President Trump that he is leading us out of wars, that he's ending the war in Ukraine.
This whole debacle started because Trump struck the Houthis.
Yes, correct. Not just that, he said Zelensky was a dictator when he was voted in by a democratic fucking system. It's absolutely fucking ludicrous, Adam. I can't understand it myself. Can't get my head around it. It's fucking mental. If people can't see this, You're blind.
About a week ago, which is fine. They deserved it. They were attacking international trade, but you can't call him the anti-war president when that's inherently an escalatory action.
Where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding from American taxpayers. That's what this is about today, not journalists from the UK that care.
The new buzzword for the MAGAs when they can't answer a fucking question, a valid question for a journalist, that's what they say. Fake fucking news. Bullshit. You're fake. You're a fake government. You aren't a government. You're a regime.
When she said American lives could have been lost, I was thinking, is she genuinely dumb? Don't answer that question. It's rhetorical. But this entire signal leak, the entire reason it's scary is because it could have directly led to American military personnel losing their lives due to a breach of operational security. Marjorie Taylor Greene is genuinely BSing her way through this clip, spewing out unrelated talking points when she says that Trump has created peace across the globe. He has 2 peace deals falling through right now. Here's what Trump did, to be real. He has these peace deals on a piece of paper, basically, but that piece of paper means nothing when both sides are still fighting. So when he brokered a peace deal between Netanyahu and Hamas, Netanyahu immediately...
Just let me put this point in quickly. Have you noticed how Donald Trump will get a board out, right? And it's the year 2025 where they can use a TV, right? And they can easily flick through fucking any sort of graph or any sort of picture or anything, but they specifically get a board out. They try and make it look more appealing to the public, where they stand in the Oval Office, where Elon Musk is standing there, not in costume, as they call it. What I mean by that is he's not sitting there with a suit and tie on, is he? He's standing there with a dressy jacket, with a fucking t-shirt, and a fucking stupid chain on his neck, and a fucking skip cap that says MAGA on it. I mean, and he's standing in the fucking Oval Office. And then Zelensky gets pulled up because he turns up in fatigues while he's at war with Putin. Fucking the USA's adversary for fucking many years during the Cold War, after World War II, everything else. I mean, what the fuck's going on here?
He began striking back, and then Hamas retaliated, and it's not really a ceasefire, but Trump claims it is. Same thing with Russia, Ukraine. He had a quote-unquote ceasefire, a soft ceasefire with Putin, and then within hours, Putin goes further, but now Trump can't do anything. If Trump says that Putin needs to stop, he's basically admitting his ceasefire is bunk. But watch this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene attacking AOC and saying she's childless, she doesn't have kids. My question to everybody in the audience is, would you rather your kid look up to, use as a role model, Marjorie Taylor Greene or AOC?
Adam,
it's pretty.
Adam, just a private joke, mate, but I think she's a man. Actually, I'm sure she's got an Adam's apple, and that's why she's getting their kids.
Obvious.
It's not a presidential year, and by the way, I think AOC is going to have.
She's a fucking non-binary.
Have a little something to say about who's going to be the nominee in 28. We can have that discussion.
Yeah, I can weigh in on her. Let me ask you a question, Eric. This is a woman. Think about this. This is a woman. She's never been married. She has no children. She's never had a job other than working in a bar. And that was short term from what we understand. She's never run a business.
Sorry, I picked up. She must have children. Fuck. Imagine being her fucking children. Sorry, I retract that. She has children. She's talking about somebody else. I thought she doesn't have children because I'm sure I can see an Adam's apple there somewhere. Anyway.
It's a woman that has really no life experience and has no life wisdom because she's never done any of those things.
She's also incredibly young. I don't get this bar attack. Their attack is basically like, oh, she worked at a bar when she was 24 years old. Can you believe that? Ha, ha, ha.
I know. Who gives a fuck? Fuck's sake. She was on a stepping stone. Oh my God.
It's like, dude, you're inadvertently making fun of millions, tens of millions of Americans. What do you mean she worked at a bar?
Exactly. The next time you go to a fucking burger joint, you expect that burger to be fucking perfect, or you use your fucking muscle. I bet. Fucking, this woman's a nutcase.
She was 24. What's wrong with that? That is the most normal thing ever. In fact, the upward mobility that she's experienced working in a bar to being basically the face of the Democratic Party at this moment is even more of an argument for why she has good political instincts. You're making an argument in favor of her. And the fact that she worked in a bar shows us that she can empathize with the average American much more than Donald Trump can, who has never worked a day in his life outside of the business that was handed to him by his father. And then Elon Musk definitely can't empathize with the average American struggles, but AOC can. I mean, these people.
She worked in a bar. Fuck shit. She must have been worse than fucking EastEnders Barbara Windsor. Get out of my pub. Imagine all that. Fuck shit. The place would be cleared in about fucking 1 minute. She wouldn't even need to ring a bell. She'd put her fucking horn in the bell, man. Every country done it to do over this fucking nut job. Fuck me, man.
This is why no one will take her serious as a presidential candidate, because we don't want someone that's propped up by the Democrat progressive establishment and who's basically an actress herself, making the most important decisions in America.
I can't watch any more of this. She does my nut right in. She's a fucking head case. Absolute fucking header. I need some music, people, because that's just annoying me. These fucking people, man. Where did they all spring at? Where did all these mad maniacs all fucking comfy all at the same time? Like, it's as if they were all waiting to spring it on us, man. Know what I mean? All these fucked up nut jobs. Fuck me, man. The world's a fucking mess. Absolute fucking mess. Anyway.
The most horrifying.
No. Sorry. That's fine.
The most horrifying.
And the same tune? Sorry about that. Wait there. Right, I want to find this song. 2 seconds, people. Two seconds. I'm just looking for some music to download. The fuck? See, watching that there, man, that really gets on my fucking nerves. Like, who the fuck do these people think they're? Absolute fucking degenerates, a lot of them. Horrible fucking individuals, man. Disgusting human beings. Just the way I see it, man. Is it only me? Am I a bit mad of it though? Fuck me. Right, why is this? Is this bottom? Right there. Hello, here, just knocked me out there. Fuck, sorry about that, people. Anyway, maybe I'm going on about politics too much. Who thinks I'm going on about politics too much? Why is it no one will argue or debate with me about this? Why? I know why. I fucking know why. Do you know why? I know why. Because it's wrong. On every fucking level. Every fucking level it's wrong. The only true currency of the world is love. That's it. Fuck your money. Shove it right up your hole where the fucking sun does not shine. That's the way I see it. Fucking...
and down, elevator, and down, and down, 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 and down.
Can you lay behind me, look? Marjorie Green's behind me, look.
You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me in your arms. You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me in your arms. In your arms.
Here we go.
You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me in your arms. You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me in your arms. In your arms. You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me in your arms. You're my angel. You're the only sunshine in my life. Feels like heaven when you take me.
Right, fuck that shit. We're gonna end with this, right? Here we go.
Last tune coming in, people, then I'm off. I want to say one there, comes, people! Raise them up, five! Here we go!
oi, people signing off, but here, do you see this? Right, this is a comprehensive list that I made up, right, of all the prime ministers of Israel, right? So we'll go back to the origin, the comprehensive list. Hang on, I'm sure you can see it. This is a comprehensive list of Israeli prime ministers and their origins, right? Now I'll highlight it so you can see it. The first prime minister of Israel, as we know it, his birthplace was during the Russian Empire, now Poland, right? The second is now Ukraine. That's where he was from, the Russian Empire, now Ukraine. The third was the Russian Empire, now Ukraine. The fourth was the Russian Empire, now Ukraine. The fifth, Russian Empire, now Belarus. The sixth, now the Russian Empire, Belarus. The seventh, now Belarus, Poland. Right, summary. 7 of Israeli first prime ministers were not born in Israel. They were born in regions that are now part of the modern day Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus, reflecting on diverse origins of Zionist movement. The early leaders who established the state of Israel. So 7 out of the 14, 15, is it, prime ministers weren't from Israel. They were born in the very conflict that's happening in Eastern Europe. I mean, look, Belarus, Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, Ukraine. How can you avoid these facts? It's only after the mandate that was set by the British mandate by Palestine, for Palestine, apparently, that they all started popping up and being born in the borders of Israel, Palestine, right? The borders. Netanyahu was born in the border of the border of Israel. Even though it says Tel Aviv, still the border. Look, I mean, how can you deny these facts? Look, it's factual. Prime ministers have been born in Israel over the British mandate of Palestine. These leaders reflect a shift in leadership from the immigrants who established a state of leaders born and raised within Israel. Conclusion: Israel's earlier leadership and foreign origins. The early leadership of Israel was dominated by immigrants from Eastern Europe who came to and from and of Israel as part of the Zionist movement. These leaders, such as David Ben Gurion, that sounds familiar. Anyway, maybe I don't know if they spell it that way, but Golda Meir, I can't even pronounce these names, but look what it's saying. This is facts, people. That I'm not like, I've fact checked this. Somebody go and debunk this, right? Look what it says, right? Look, this led to some argue that Israel was not originally led by native-born Israelis, but rather by individuals from foreign origins who played a critical role in shaping what we see as Israel today. The fact that the first 7 prime ministers came from Eastern Europe, the very place, right? Let's remember, let's note, the very place that all this fighting is going on in Eastern Europe is where all the original prime ministers of Israel came from. That's where they all came from. Anyway, it underscores the point highlighting how the birth of Israel was a result of a movement spearheaded by Jews who had lived outside the land of generations. It was only after the establishment of Israel in 1948 that the native-born leaders, starting with Yitzhak Rabin, began to rise in prominence. Today, most of Israel's recent prime ministers, including Benjamin Netanyahu, Barak, Bennett, were born within the borders. Look, the borders, right? Reflecting on the. Look at this shit, man. I mean, people, this is all factual. Go and check it. Note, you may notice, right? Look at all the breaks, right? Look at all the breaks in there in their governments, right? Because it did blow my mind, because I was thinking, so this is the reason why I added this to the end of my comprehensive list of Israeli prime ministers, because there was breaks. So I was wondering, why is there breaks in their terms in office? So we'll go back to this. This is why there was breaks in their terms of office, right? Right, hang on. Note, right? So I put that there, as you see, right? There was breaks in their roles as prime ministers, right? So I got it right. Elections and coalition arguments, some breaks in leadership, such as those seen with Shamir and Perez, were the result of power sharing agreements, which means to me, in my opinion, that the Israelis can't even agree on any fucking coalition government of their own, never mind fucking trying to enforce governments on other people. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Power sharing agreements and coalition agreements within Israel parliamentary system, where the prime ministers alternate depending on the coalition structures, because they're always falling out. They can't fucking stick to a dead. They can't stick to mandates, deadlines, ceasefires. They've been doing it for years, right? So this one falls down to a health issue. That was Ariel Sharon, right? Which we all know that, right? Prime Minister term can be interrupted by health issues. That's a given, right? Political dynamics of Israel political system often leads to changes in the leadership due to shifts in the change of coalitions or political instability. Look, they can't even agree on their own fucking policies. That's why there's always a breakdown in fucking governments, right? It's not uncommon for prime ministers to step down and face new election, right? We know that, right? That's a given. That's a given, right? These breaks in leadership reflect Israel's dynamic political landscape, where coalition governments and shifting party alliances have played a crucial role in determining the duration and continuity of each prime minister tenure. So, like their term almost, right? I find this very interesting. But one day they will find peace in the Middle East, and the people, the civilians, the power to the people, because the people got their power caught up in this. They are always in my prayers. And I will say this before I go. They are always in my prayers on both sides of the fence. Israelis and the Arabs. Both sides. I don't want to see babies dying. I don't want to see fucking women dying. I don't want to see men dying on a fucking daily basis. I don't want to see that shit. Anyway, people, peace out. I'm done, man. We've been on for a while, fucking talking shit. Nobody's really that interested. I see nobody wants to come up and discuss it. Wonder why. Big Nuts, what's happening, my pal? My pal, Big Nuts. Massive bro, good to see you, pal. Good to see you too, brother. Big up T1. Big up the TRD. Big up the TRD. Big up Baz and the troops. Big up Aldi. See, Big Nuts is a gentleman. See, when he comes into a chat, I've never seen his face, never heard his voice, but he's a gentleman. He speaks in his chat. He never disrespects anyone. He's a decent fella. Know what I mean? So, Sir Big Nuts, I give you that, sir. So God bless everybody. I just thought I would educate some people on things that they didn't really know about. Things that are getting slipped through the net. Things that could push you in the wrong direction. Could push you left. Could push you right. The one thing I believe in is preserving life. Preserving life. Nobody can make up someday like Bill Gates, like Elon Musk, and all these eugenicists, that eugenics. But they're allowed to have babies willy-nilly. You know, that's allowed, but you know, they can get that's allowed. No, what I mean? But they can control our birth rate. Nah, man. And then with Israel, what I pointed out there was that right. The first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh were off of Belarus. All the countries that fell after the Soviet Union, more or less, apart from Poland. But I don't know if Poland was part of the Soviet Union at one point, maybe years ago. I don't know. But does that not intrigue you? Does that not like spark something in the mind? These people who are trying to run Israel, trying to make it look like a democratic state when it really is an apartheid state. We're led to believe through the mainstream media and through certain right-wing medias on YouTube to believe that Israel is a democratic country. No, it's not. It's a made-up government of people who weren't even born there. So go and fact check it. Go and check it yourself. Prove me wrong. God bless people. Save your rich and touchable soul. Thanks for joining me, people. God bless. Have a nice night. Have a blessed Sunday. See you later. Oi, oi!